Alright guys, so I'm just going to show you quickly how to log into your personal TinkerCAD account and kind of join our class. So once you open up the spreadsheet that correlates to your class section, you're going to go to the instructions and you're first going to go to this join class link. And then the first thing it asks you to do is type your class code. So you can just go back to the spreadsheet, copy and paste your specific class code. Each of my 5 sections has a different class code. So just because I'm using this one in the example doesn't mean that's your specific class code. You must look at the spreadsheet and copy and paste your section's specific class code. Then I'm going to press go to my class. Now it asks, it says welcome to T&E section 1. Make sure it says the right section here that corresponds to your class section of mine. Enter your nickname provided by your teacher. Go back to the spreadsheet. Then you take a look at your name and then you can find your TinkerCAD nickname. Some of your names are just your first name. Some of them have like part of your last name or just your initial of your last name. So make sure you look closely. Capitalization matters. So make sure you take a look at this. Most of them are lowercase. So I just set up a test student account. So I'm going to go into test student. That's me. And now you're on your own personal TinkerCAD account that's directly linked to my class. So when you build something or create something within TinkerCAD, I can just click on your name and see it. You don't need to necessarily submit it anywhere. So we're not working on 3D designs. We're actually going to be building circuits. So you want to make sure for all these different little circuit activities or lab activities, you click circuits over on the left-hand side menu, and then you're going to go ahead and create a new circuit. Now, once you get into this kind of window here, you have a blank space. This is when you're going to build your circuit. The first thing I would do is change the name of your circuit. So it makes up kind of silly names for each document. So just click up here, type the name of whatever circuit you're building. Most of you guys are going to start with circuit number 1 based on this week's assignment, this week's worksheet. And then you can go over here and search for different components. So you might need a 9-volt battery for your circuit. You don't really need to name anything, but you can kind of turn the different components so you can kind of format the circuit or build the circuit however you want. If you're looking for something more specific, I don't know, a lot of them are here. So a photoresistor, LDR, let's see, an LED, RGB, regular LED, a resistor. You can really find it here, but you can also just search or go to all the different components here and kind of find what you're looking for. In terms of the resistors, I just want to show you this quickly. So in each specific circuit, I'll tell you exactly what value resistance you need to put in or what type of resistor you need to use. So for example, I might have you use a 220 resistor. And then it kind of changes the color, and when you click on the resistor, it shows you the resistor value. I can pull in another resistor, double click on that. Maybe I want it to be not 1 kilo ohm, but another really common one is 6.8 kilo ohms. And you'll notice once I change the resistance value here, the color of the resistor changes. Remember we went through that whole resistor color code chart and you did some practice with that. So it's nice in TinkerCAD. You don't necessarily need to memorize or use the color code chart, but it is just nice to know that the different resistors have different colors resistance. Also with LEDs, I'm pretty sure you can change the color. Yeah, I remembered correctly. So the default is red, but you can choose any of the other colors. I'll specifically tell you what color to use within each different circuit. Believe it or not, each different color LED does have kind of a different resistor value that it needs. So just make sure you use the specific color um, that I tell you within the lab. You also may be wondering, how do you connect these components together? If you click on one of the little legs of the LED, for example, you can click and then pull over a wire and connect it somewhere. Um, you don't have to connect it just diagonally. You can actually click and make really nice looking wires, especially when you're creating these circuits. As we get into creating more complex circuits, you're going to want to use nice wires. You can change the wire color. There are a bunch of different options. Once you create the wire, you can actually pull and kind of edit the wire. So it's really nice. It's really nifty. You might have also noticed that it tells you which side of the LED is the cathode and which side of the LED is the anode, because LEDs are polar. The same thing with the battery. It tells you which side's positive and which side's negative. I know we already went through this, but red, for the most part, any red wire is normally positive and any black wire is normally negative. Um, so that's just a little bit kind of a background on how to build circuits. We're going to kind of do some practice. For this week, we're just going to stick with one circuit, circuit number one, simple series circuit, just so we get some practice down working in TinkerCAD. And as we move through the weeks, we'll get into more complex circuits.